we could fly. Oh, we could fly. Oh, we could fly.
How's it going, guys? It's Matt here. Now, for those of you that attended today's MetaRise demo day, you would have seen us go through a very short 5-minute pitch. This one here is going to be a little bit different. I've extended it a little bit longer. I'm talking naturally. I'm not following a particular set time. So I get to explain truly about what Racer Club is. And this is targeted, or this is more so for those that are going to come on as players and going to come on as club holders, so actual NFT projects. And it's to show you essentially what the game is truly about and explain to you a few certain parts of it as well to show you the true benefits of where we try to head with things. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So Racer Club is a BYO, or Bring Your Own Tokens race and earn platform. It's the very first one. No one has created a platform like this before. Okay, so we've combined the current essence of P2E and the metaverse to bring this platform where we allow people to come in and quickly start their games. Okay, so that's the key thing here with this here. But let's carry on, and I'll show you via slides, and you learn a bit more as you go along. Okay. So this is a fact. I changed a little bit of this slide in the actual one. I actually used the word disappointment because it is disappointing, the current P2Es. Not a single one out there has met the, I guess, the level of where it should be at, we believe. And none of them are actually succeeding, or a lot of them are failing, actually, in fact. So this is not good at all for the mainstream. This is not good at all for the future of Web3. And this is where we want to make sure we solve this particular problem. This is just a slide that shows the evolution. So you can see 1975, I don't know whether you remember playing these pixel games. I mean, it was still fun to play these games, right? In 1975, in 1997. But as you can see, the graphics has gone way better. It's a more stimulating. The gameplay has been, grown up a lot. So, it's obviously not a gameplay issue here, and it's not a game graphic issue. It's something else that we need to look out for. Okay, as in the problem with blockchain games. This is some stats. So there's actually plenty more that comes up from this here, but I just chose Rav Racing as one sample one because they are the top racing game right now, and you can look at their token graph. It's gone all the way to 0.4. In fact, it's gone up further, and then it's dropped all the way, and you can see it's in the red. Okay, obviously it's not good for them, and they need to work out their own matters. But because it's a blockchain game, it's very difficult to sort of get the game alive again once you've actually released it out there, right? Now they are confined to their own tokens. That's fine. That's up to them. It's only up to them. However, having a growth spur again after the fact is going to be quite difficult unless you spend heaps and heaps of money, doing collabs with big brands, maybe bringing some F1 players on, etc. But yeah, that's the issue there. Most of them are going to be like this car on the left here. They're going to hit a brick wall, I believe, okay, for P2Es, because it's set. The way that they want to do it is set, and the tokenomic structure is that it's a single game token. Now, having a single game token, everything is relying on that token. If the token price drops, players fall away. And you can see with Axie here, last year they had 2.7 million players, and they dropped all the way to 260. That's 90% decrease in players. So it's not easy at all. Doesn't matter how big your game is. Doesn't matter what you do in the game. I believe that the what is broken is not the game and not the styling of the game. It's the concept, or it's the tokenomic strategy. Okay. In fact, as I said earlier on, there's plenty other games. So if you look at this snapshot here that we took just before the crypto winter in around March, April this year, you will see that everything was at a high. Yep, okay. Trading volume was massive. P2E market capitalization was big. Pegasus, Rev Racing, D Race, Sandbox, Axie, Descent. All of these metaverses and racing games were all at a high. All of a sudden comes the crypto winter and everything drops down. Now, yes, it's due to might be due to the crypto winter. The market's not being active enough. But how are these projects going to pick up from here? Now, if the bear run comes up, well, people just depend on the token again. So it's always relying on a market factor, which I feel that's a major issue with games in particular. or with participation from people that are looking at spending their time and having fun. So if you relate it back to money all the time, I think that's gonna be a huge issue. However, it's not a bad thing. It's just if it's based on market conditions, that's a major issue. Now, one other thing I want to highlight here is the amount of games out there in the market. There's 929 games. The total market of actual mainstream games is about 5 million right now. So we are way early. This is only under 1,000 games in total, which are P2E. So there's huge room to grow. This problem's still early. I mean, it's not too late to solve this problem. That's where we're heading at. And the cool thing is, our target of what we want to hit, which is 2,500 games, essentially will take the whole market share of what it is here, as long as all those projects or communities come on and do what they need to do, right? But we've got some cool catches for them there to get done. So Web3 people like Elon and others, they love their profile pic. Everyone is updating their profile pic as soon as you can. Like, you go to Twitter every single day, there's thousands and thousands of people going, new profile pic, check out my adorable face, new profile pic, where are my peeps, things like that. We've all seen it before. If you're from the Web3 space, you've definitely seen this before, and you know that this is not a phenomenon. It's happening every day and it's growing nonstop. People just love that, that me thing within Web3. Okay, and they go behind their Web3 profile pic. Similarly as well, people have their favorite tokens. This particular person is talking about how bullish they are on ApeCoin, but if you go look others, everyone's got their favorite token, whether it's a community token or something they've invested in early, or whether they've got bags in there. It doesn't really matter. They all love their own token. Everyone is not going to go for another token if it's not their own. Do you know what I mean? There's some sort of loyalty element to it there. And that's what we figured out with the token side of things. So there's that. I'm going to go back one slide. So there's that NFT loyalty and there's the token loyalty. These are the two key things. Okay. And that's why we came up with the solution for Racer Club, essentially, to create this ecosystem where people can bring in their own NFTs and tokens, because nothing trumps loyalty. Loyalty is what makes a platform strong, what makes a game or ability for something to grow bigger and better for the future, right? So loyalty is number one, and that's what we feel is the most important thing in a game, and that's why we focused at that there to allow for NFTs and tokens to be brought into a game. Cool. So with the game NFTs, how we've done it is very simply, we've built this really cool plug-and-play SDK architecture. So it's a wireframe of a game, essentially. And we're not the first. So other side is doing the same as well. Other people out there are trying to do this. In fact, Sandbox has the same as well. But Sandbox is an open SDK, which means that it's not confined to like a racing game. It's confined to anything you want to have on it, right? Now, the problem with having it open is that it's too open. People just don't know what to build on there. Founders don't know what to build on there. It's going to take time, cost, and money to build something there. So we decided to just build a SDK wireframe on a racing game. So the layout is always the same. The rules are always the same. The regulations, the attributes per character, the track times, the spectatorships, the tokenomics, default tokenomics. Everything's the same. Everything is just there, ready for you to go. And furthermore, all the smart contracts that are built for the SDK are fully certified audited. So certic audited. What that means is people don't need to go and spend this additional audit costs for when they create a game, because that's a crucial hurdle which a lot of people don't go through, a step that they don't go through rather. They build something or they make an NFT project or whatever. They don't go through the audit phase. Now the audit phase is super critical for security reasons, right? If you're a small project, you might not consider it. If you're a bigger project, definitely you do it. Either way, the estimation on building any game, if you really want to, simply as this, is going to take you 9 months to 12 months, $250,000 to $1 million, depending on the type of game and elements and the audit levels and everything else. But yeah, it is a massive amount to spend. Now, can every project spend it? I don't think so. No chance. No one has those funds, or even if they have those funds, they're not going to look at spending a game before what the community says or before what the community thinks about it, right? So we've done this. We've spent extra on a bigger wireframe, and just allow people to come in with their 3D assets, and we plugged it in whole using via Unreal Engine. So it's as easy as that. That's why it gives GameFi individuality for each, and that's what we feel will work really well for everyone. So NFT characters and the track styles are all in the art form of that particular project. Nice and easy. Okay, and I'll go through some questions if you want to later on specifically for this year, because a lot of people have been asking about this IP matter on how clubs are started, what sort of IP can be used for projects, for the characters. So whether they're CCO or whether they're non-CCO, and I'll go through that in a second. But there's a legal standpoint here that any racer club can be created by the community members. It doesn't have to be necessarily done by the founders, because the community holds the IPs essentially. If it's non CCO, the community holds the IP of the NFTs that they hold. So they got full rights to say, hey, I want to use my NFT, like this particular MAYC in the picture here. This is a holder of MAYC, and they've come to us and say, I want to be part of the Racer Club game. I want you to create this for us. So that's what we've done. Do you know what I'm saying? So there is a potential here where we can just keep on outputting games for different communities, and when we build it, they will come. Okay, so for tokens, we've used NFTX, and for those of you that are familiar with NFTX, you already will know what is the purpose of this here. Essentially, by adding extra liquidity to your NFTX vault pool, your price of your tokens go up, and your price of your NFTs goes up. For those of you that don't know what NFTX is, 700 top communities right now. You got Goblins, MAYC, Punks, Well of Woman, Doodles, everyone. All the big ones are there, right? They use that to manage their floor, and they manage the floor price basically of the OpenSea. Now, it's not done in a bad way. It's done in a way where simply they've allowed for an NFT to now have a token association with it, or token associated with it, an ERC20 token of their own vault or their own collection, that which directly relates to that collection. So what that means is, and I'll give you an example. So if they might put, say for example, you have an NFT project out there, it's a 10K project or 5K project, whatever. You go to NFTX, you start a vault, you put in 50 of maybe NFTs that you swept into a vault. So you let's call it 20 NFTs. You put 20 NFTs in a vault, and you pair that initial LP with 20 ETH. So that means 20 NFTs, 20 ETH in that vault. What NFTX will work out via the ERC20 token of that vault. First, you create an ERC20 token. So you say, for example, if you're called Mutant Ape Your Club, token name will be called MAYC. Now, at the very beginning, you have 20 NFTs there, 20 ETH there. How that works, the pricing out for that token is essentially one NFT per one NFT per token. So if you've got 20 NFTs and 20 ETH, that means each token price is 1 ETH. Now, if your price is 1 ETH in NFTX, because you can buy, sell, swap, stake at NFTX, users, or either even bots sometimes, might take the opportunity and go to OpenSea and sweep the floor, say of the lower price items or the price underneath 1 ETH, and sell them to the vault. Okay, yes, that drags out liquidity from the vault and it drops the price of the token. But what that means is you can manage the floor essentially to reach that equilibrium state between the liquidity pool of your NFTX vault and the OpenSea floor. Okay, this is a really, really cool theory here, and a really, really cool thing that NFTX has done, executed really well for obviously 700 top communities use. So what we are doing essentially is this. We're taking the ERC20 tokens of each of these clubs, putting it into each of these vaults, putting in as a Racer Club token, and therefore when their players use that token to purchase packs, which is required to play the game or to play competitive games, they'll be buying or they'll be using those tokens within our ecosystem that will create LP for their token with NFTX, and therefore give them more reasons to, for their own community first to come back and play and keep playing the Racer Club, but secondly, their token and their NFT price would automatically go up because the pool goes bigger and bigger every day. So this is a really cool concept. No other P2E game does it this way, because every P2E game is structured in their game token, where it's about their own game token, not the community's game token. While we're doing it this way, we change that whole little perspective of a player to say, hey, say when I'm spending money right now, I'm actually spending money for my own token. So it's cool whether I lose or win or whatever happens, right? Because they're investing back into their own token. So that we feel is a massive game changer as far as how P2Es are run, and that's why the token element of things here is protected in this sense. Moving on, and I've got a few more slides, so I don't want to take too much time. It's 15 minutes, you see? The pitch earlier was 5 minutes, now I get more time to spend. So the in-game tokenomics of each game is defaulted at 65% for players, 15% for staking, 15% for creator royalties, and I explained this, and 5% for us, right? The Racer Club loyalties, just to make sure that we have the game platform running fully and all the development costs all looked after, right? Anyhow, so I want to pick up a few things here. First, the 65% for player rewards. Okay, so this is if, say, someone wins, position 1, 2, 3, or even any other position, just as a participation kind of reward. 65% of that goes towards the player. So, hypothetically speaking, there's $1,000 of pack purchases for the day. Out of the $1,000, 650, which is 65%, will be used for the winning pools. So if someone gets one, it's split up accordingly depending how many races per day, number 2, number 3, etc., etc. Okay. Now, how our Racer Club works is, in order to make sure that we protect the ecosystem of each club, when someone wins or has a winning, that winnings get auto staked for 7 days as a minimum day. Okay, so you win, say for example, $50 for a particular race, it gets auto staked for 7 days. During that 7 days, based on the $50 that you have in that staking pool, the other rewards from that, say for example, again, the $1,000 per day comes in as pack purchases, which is 15%, so that's $150. $150 goes towards staking rewards. So if you got $50 in staking as an amount in proportion to whatever else is staked in there in the winnings pool, you get 15% extra on top of that there. Okay, from whatever comes in. So that's really cool how that comes in. Now, people after that 7 days can actually, or players can actually pull out their winnings, or either keep it on there and keep it staked. Okay, so the more and more people stake on there, the more and more the token is of that NFT or that community gets held, and it's better for them essentially. It's because more is in holding versus being liquidated out. Either way, it will work fine because it's 80% total of rewards to the players. That's heaps there. And 50% automatically goes to, now initially we had this as creator royalties. In fact, this is now going to go to the Game Pack NFT holder. Now, what is a Game Pack NFT? I'll go through that in a second. But essentially, the Game Pack NFT is the license holder for that Racer Club game. Okay, so the person who actually minted the game pack, because we don't back going what we said before, we don't provide any NFTs and we don't provide any tokens for the game, so not for the game itself, but we do provide a NFT for the creation of the game or the license of the game. Okay, that's number one, and we provide a token for the utility token later on. Okay, so 15% of the game royalty, and I go through some calculations and some modeling on that there to see what potentially game pack holders can earn, but that goes towards the game pack holders, okay, for being holders of that pack and to start the pack and start the club and be the kind of OG or the person responsible for pushing that project or that Racer Club all the way through. So we've got a fun game now. It's no more about playing to earn. It's now you're gonna race and you're gonna earn by default with all the tokenomics we've done here. Okay, so everyone's gonna have fun. Everyone's gonna love it. Super rewarding. It's 80% to the players, and obviously there's no other P2E out there that can rival this value of this game utility. Our go-to-market is divided into 3. So the first one we've done, it's for the Toastpunk community. It's a 30-day early access, so they will get 30 days before everyone else to start the game. Reason why Toastpunk is because obviously this game originated from their concept, their idea, so paying homage to them. This is what it is. I'm also the founder of Toastpunk. It's not being biased, but it is being fair on what they actually wanted to come up with, the community wanted to come up with. So they get 30-day early access. What's the benefit of 30-day early access? Well, essentially they can level up quicker, and there's the importance of leveling up for players. I'll go through that in a second. But yeah, that's important. But either way, there's opportunity to join Toastpunk Racer Club right away. You can buy an NFT from Toastpunk, use that NFT in the game. You can rent an NFT from the marketplace of Toastpunk Racer Club when you want to play. There's heaps of opportunity to join that, and there's also a way for you to just look at that game and spectate that game and say, hey, something cool's coming up. This is what I want to have for my own game. So it gives you a bit of a insight as to what's happening first before you start. You might start your own club, or you might be part of a community that starts their own club. In phase 2, we will activate all our partners. We got heaps of partners behind us the plan of this is quite wide and quite big, quite deep in fact as well, as to how much the reach goes out to. And the plan is to incubate 800 new clubs as quick as possible. And we've set a time frame, and a ridiculously fast time frame, and my CTO bangs me on this every single day. However, in saying that, I've put him to the task, and I said, mate, we have to do this. It's in 100 days, essentially. That's what I'm going to do for 800 new clubs. That's how crazy we are. But to do that, we've also positioned ourselves in a way where we would, in phase 1, we would drop the Game Pack NFT drop, which is the 2,500 Racer Club licenses out there. And we're going to do a cool new type of mint. I'll announce that in a bit once I've confirmed the actual tech for it. But yeah, we'll drop that 2,500 packs. At the moment it drops, the review will happen. You know whether you've got a game pack with 2 levels or 6 levels, so you know that you can have one with bigger economy or smaller economy. But we're still finalizing the mint method of that, because we want to make it cool, unique, and different in the sense of it being it works really well with the market. So there'll be 2,500 dropped. That 2,500 will immediately be able to come to the game servers, the Racer Club game servers, and stake. We call it the stake, but it's actually not really staking. It's actually charging, okay, your game pack NFTs. And there's a reason for that charge. Obviously, charge goes from 0 to 100%. The higher percentage is, the more you can claim in the utility tokens once we launch it in phase 3, right? And I'll go through that in a second as well to clarify that. But yeah, the game pack NFTs will be dropped. The first 800 clubs, the point of this, we haven't fully as in decided exactly who will be the first 800 clubs, but most likely it'll be those, number one, that already has an NFTX vault, so that's very important. Number two, we have those initial communities that we already know and work with, and there's plenty of them out there that we've already done collaborations with. These are the ones we'll focus at probably first to make sure that we get them on board, get their economies going, get them started first. In phase 3, we will launch then the R Club utility token, which is the token used for the asset creators marketplace, which is payments, okay? And I'll explain to you what that is. The Racer Club DAO, so a governance token, and the crossover metaverse for prizes. So yeah, I know these time frames are super tight. Q1 2023 for phase 2, Q2 2023 for phase 3, and obviously the end of this year is going to be massively busy with the launch of Toastpunk Racer Club and the Game Pack NFT drop. Okay, a little bit about the tokenomics. Now, I don't want you to be overwhelmed with these numbers here, because it's all on the white paper, but I just wanted to highlight the importance of these, the tokenomics design of, this is the R Club utility token. So the importance of this is that you will see that there's no vesting applicable at all for the Game Pack NFT holders and the level 2 players. So this is the two main people, or the two main groups of people that will be supporting the Racer Club game all the way from the start, all the way through the launch of the R Club utility token. Why have we made it so? And a lot of VCs going, oh, it's not fair, we got to vest and they don't have to vest. I'm sorry. I believe that the community requires or needs this validity to say that, hey, you've helped us, Launch, you've helped be together with us all the way from the start. This is why we want it to work out well for you. And there's massive amounts here. And in total, there's 50 and 300. That's 35% of the 1 billion total supply. One more thing I want to mention about the supply is there's no new mints and no new burns. It's going to be a fixed 1 billion supply on TGE, and the three use cases are for it, as mentioned before, would be the payments for the asset creators marketplace, the governance token for the DAO, and prizes for the crossover metaverse. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this players and level 2+. So every NFT that is part of their own club. Okay, so your own NFTs, not the GamePack NFTs we're talking about, but we're talking about the Racer NFTs. Every NFT can go through rankings via XP. So XP is when you win podium spots, when you spend money in the pack stores and do several things. It's all assigned for you there. There's like different types of XPs you earn. When you go to level 2, so if you're a level 1 player, so it's 0 to 1000 XP, you're a level 1 player, you won't be able to claim any of these tokens when we do the TGE. So you won't be able to claim the 300 million tokens or be part of that claim, 300 million tokens, if you're level 1 and under. But if you're level 2 and above, so you got level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, you will be able to claim these tokens. So these are free claims, and these are claims that that's unlocked on no vesting on day of claim, which means you can go out and sell it in the open market. That's fine. We've accounted for that there. I know that plenty will not sell it because you will still probably use them for the governance. You might want to do some governance DAO votes in the Race Lab DAO, or you want to use it for the asset creators marketplace. So we understand that some will sell and some will hold. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, level 2+ players, you get to claim the 300 million tokens. And if you think about it, say we onboard, I don't know, a couple hundred, no, say 500,000 players, okay? 500,000 players, and you divide that average of the 300 million, that's, close to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, what's that, 6,000 per player? Now, it depends on the price. I'm not going to say anything about prices of what the iClub token could be or will be. Obviously, we're going to back it up to try to get the highest price possible. But, let's just for argument's sake, or hypothetical speaking, call it $1, okay? iClub token, which I personally think is low. But say if it's at $1, $6,000 is basically per player that you can claim, right? That's a lot in value. As I said earlier on, this could be much more than that there. But don't quote me. It's obviously non-financial advice, whatever I'm telling you right now. For the clubs, so this is the GamePack NFT. There's 50 million in total for GamePack NFT holders that can be claimed. 50 million iClub tokens. Once again, unlocked, no vesting period at all. And this is going to be based, so these players, remember, are based on level 2s of the players. The GamePack NFTs are based on the percentage of charge. Remember how I said early on, when we drop the 2,500 GamePack NFTs, when we have that in phase 1, when we have that 30-day access for Toastpunk Genesis, we will have instantly a way for you to stake. Or we call it charge, okay? 0 all the way to 100%, which is you get 1% per day, okay? The higher charge, the more you can claim. It's as simple as that, which means that you held it long enough, up to 100 days or more, and you're eligible for this claim. That's super important there, because each charge as well puts power back into the whole game servers and the Racer Club economy as well. It shows that it's just, it is a stronger ecosystem, and that people are actually, going to come in and start their own clubs. And during that time, obviously, you can think of if you're part of a community that has a game, say you minted a GamePack NFT and you're part of that community or part of another community or whatever it is, and you want to start a Racer Club, by all means, go speak to the community. Say, I've got it plugged in. I've got it plugged in at 25%, 30%. Let's go. Let's start our Racer Club. So it gives entitlements to yourself and the benefit to the community to get started straight away. And remember, there's only going to be 2,500 allowing spots out of the lifetime. So it doesn't matter whether there's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 NFT projects on the Ethereum chain out there. Only 2,500 projects will be part of the Racer Club ecosystem forever. Okay. Now, just a big one here, 65% in total goes back to the Racer Club ecosystem. The balance goes to like launch partners, shareholders of Racer Club Labs, and I put a Toastpunk Foundation here as well. That's mainly going to be for charity, by the way. But yeah, 65%, which the majority is going to go back to the people. And 300 million is in the Racer Club DAO. That's also for the people. It's to run the whole format of the game moving forward. I'll explain that in the next few slides. But yeah, 65%, massive amount to the people. So we're giving everything back, or we're giving most back anyway, to ensure that it's a flourishing game moving forward. Asset Creators Marketplace, just a brief explanation what it is. This is not how it looks like. This is just an example of what it works. It is, but it will be an open marketplace. So in phase 3, we'll launch an Asset Creators Marketplace, which is an open marketplace for artists, for devs, for players, for club creators, etc., to come together and to buy and sell and trade these game assets. Okay, and these game assets are not NFTs; they're actual assets in the game itself. So we're talking about race cars, characters, traits, stickers, banners, billboards, whatever, all sorts of things in the actual game itself. All these will be like the Unity style, or sorry, not Unity, Unreal Engine style assets that can be purchasable from the Asset Creators Marketplace. You need to obviously have the R Club token to do that, and this is the only way an in-game update can be done. There's no other way possible to be done. It has to be done only this way. You can't come to us direct. Once phase 3 happens, it's all going to be, and this is our opening into the decentralized format of how we intend to run or have a game run, right? Prior to this, in the normal Web 2 world, you need to come back to the game developers to get it done. This is our decentralized mode of running the game or growing the game. The Racer Club DAO is critical because you've got two facades to it. Okay, you got Racer Club Labs, which is the game developer or the game studio, so us, and you've got the community. That's going to be the whole game essentially. And there's 5 facades to it. Obviously, the top of it is the treasury, so the management of the R Club token and how we manage this R Club token to grow or to become better or to be safe. All these things. So the Racer Club DAO would focus a lot on this. 2 other elements to it would be the growth of the game itself. So we're talking about things of how do we make this a particular or the whole game in essence grow. So are we looking at sponsorships with Ferrari F1 drivers, motorsport drivers, esport gamers, whatever it might be. These are partnerships, things that we got to work out in the Racer Club DAO. Then you've got innovation based on platforms. So we know that from computers to mobile phones to AR to Xbox, PlayStation, etc. Platforms innovate over time. So the Racer Club DAO will function as the community center to inform Racer Club Labs what is going on, and we will go out and build it. Simple as that. Okay. And then finally, we've got the titles. So all the 2,500 clubs. How do we look after each club? How do we make sure that each club has their economies engaged, has their rankings improve, etc., to make it much better for them, okay, and much better for the whole game ecosystem in total. Finally, and this is the really cool one. This is our end goal. This is always ultimate of what I want to do. And this is where our closed format racing game structure will be way better than an open format metaverse structure, because now we know exactly what's happening in our metaverse, or we know that to have a crossover metaverse or to run tournaments, we can then have, for example, CryptoPunks players jump into Milady Maker Racer Club and play in there for their native token. But we organize all these tournaments, or the Racer Club DAO would organize all these tournaments and give out really high-end R Club token prizes, okay, organized by the tournament organizers in this kind of esports format. And that's what I want to lead up to right now, the crossover metaverse. So why this is so important essentially for the whole game moving forward. In 2022, there's $2.5 billion in the esports side of things, up to $12.5 billion, we believe, in 2030, or as predicted, right? For those of you who've seen the trailer, you've seen how the MMYC guy pops into the racetrack whilst the Toastpunk guys are playing. That's the concept of what we mean by crossover, as in, it's just a concept here to just show quickly that people can all of a sudden jump into different games. And this is where I think that the bridge between big brands, mainstream will come in. Esports, virtual arena style format games would work really, really well. And this audience is wide. It's super, super huge. In fact, some of the backers in Racer Club Labs have really, really good connections with big brands, car brands, myself included as well. And this is where we see the future of mainstream heading into what we got coming on. So this is the most bullish thing I'm actually excited about, because as long as we pass all those various elements through, we know we have a confined metaverse that we can work with, and we're not talking too far away, and we're not talking too hard to achieve as well. So these are all achievable facades of the project that we believe will work really well. I want to talk a little bit now. I want to preface this, but this is not financial advice. This is just an example on a calculation of the 15% share. Remember how I'll go back here again to this page. Yep. Remember how we said 15% goes to creator royalties per game tokenomics. Okay. So in this slide here, I just want to illustrate based on some rough numbers what a Game Pack NFT holder could receive. So, if you own one singular Game Pack NFT for that club, and that club has, say, for example, 100 players, and say each player spends an average of $25 in their native token, as an example again, that you'll get 375 a day, or in total yearly revenue 136,000. Now, that's sometimes, if you look at that, that's like a wage of a person per year, right? 136,000 per year. It's not much, but it's still not too bad. And then you go up further with bigger clubs and more players and more spend, or the same equal amount of spends all the way through. You're looking at like $1 million per year, $2.7 million kind of year revenue for that Game Pack NFT holder. Now, as I said earlier on, players, I've based these numbers and I based this spend just on hypotheticals. However, it's not far off, I believe, of what I think could happen for each game. However, it could go stupid as well. It could go, where, say, for example, Bored Ape or Mutant Ape starts a club, and, they have thousands and thousands of players, and each one's starting to spend $100, $200 each, because they got so much money, spare money to spend on it. So it could go crazy. It could go little. This is something just to give you an overview, okay? But I think a fair estimate here is not too far off of what I've highlighted in purple. This is us. This is our core team. For those of you who don't know, Roman is our CTO. He's always behind the scenes. You can't see much of him, but he is like one of the best guys in terms of understanding tech. I've been working with him for a long, long time. Vince as well. Some of you have seen him already. He's out there. He's outspoken. He's got 7.7 billion under his belt as far as trade sales are concerned. And then you've got me, right? Which I've done startups to exits in various businesses all the way through for the last 20 years. And with this particular business, I don't think it's going to be an exit per se. It's going to be a full value proposition moving forward for the entire community and our teams. That's key for me anyway. So I'm not thinking about, from my perspective, I'm not thinking about money for me. I'm thinking more about how we get this product out there and how we make sure we create value for it. Because I know that way, our stakeholders will be looked after, including the community, including the investors, including everyone else. Some of the tractions we've got, so we've got a couple of solar projects. In fact, we also acquired the Irish Oracle project this year. So we've got 3 projects under our belt. We've got a 75K verified community, Toastpunk, and we've got over 100 key opinion leader partners. So they're all verified accounts, all waiting and eager to start with us on Racer Club. So that's ready to go as well as far as expanding the partner reach. And then we've got 150 who actually signed up already for our project. Now, this is only the start because there's plenty more. And this is what I wanted to talk about as far one consideration here about but 150 projects sign up is great. Okay, that's cool. But to get to 800, to get to 2.5, how are we going to get there, right? Now, there's a thing that or there's some legal frameworks that we're looking at right now that essentially divides NFT projects into 2 portions. One is CCO, which is public domain projects, so like the Goblins and a few others out there, Moonbirds, in fact. And then you've got other projects that are non-CCO, so their IP rights are not really defined, or some of them are really defined, like Yuga for Board Ape Yacht Club. They're defined. Mutant Ape, they're defined. Either way, okay. So they either fall under non-CCO or CCO. If they're non-CCO, it's easy. Essentially, we can go and start a racer club for that community tomorrow, without even any permissions from the community or anyone at all. Ultimately, it's up to the community whether they want to be part of it, correct? But what that means essentially is that we can start a club almost straight away if it's non-CCO. So Moonbirds, we can start one club tomorrow. We can go Moonbirds Racer Club, and it's up to whether their community wants to come and join or not, right? Goblins, same thing as well. We can start Goblins Racer Club, and it's up again to that community whether they want to join or not. Now we have the connections in there, so most likely they will join. However, it's open, right? Then you've got the projects that are non-CCO, where the IP of the artwork is with the NFT holders. Most all of them are. So it doesn't matter how defined the rules are. The IP is always with the NFT holders. So as long as number one, we own an NFT from that project, or number two, the actual holders come to us and say, "Hey, I'm happy for you to use the IP of my NFT in your project," we can start that racer club almost straight away as well. We don't need to go through the red tape of the founders and disturb the founders to say, "Hey, let's organize this, let's organize that." We don't have to go through that whole organization factor. We just go straight, build the game, and as I said earlier on, our mantra is going to be this: we're going to build a game, and they're going to come. For the first 800 projects, obviously we've already got these signups, we've got the NFTX site collaboration, so that's how we'll get that mix and going. But for the others, it's actually, this works really, really well for a decentralized model, with the asset creators market, especially for designers, because designers can start creating all these 3D assets and put them in the marketplace. And as long as projects want to come on, or community members want to come on, they can use those assets created by these artists and start those clubs. So we create this another line of opportunity for designers to make money as well, using the asset creators marketplace. I think that's what's really cool about it, and I think that's what will expand and allow us to get to our quick goals as soon as possible, and that's what's really cool about it. Okay, these are some of the strategic partners. We've got game developers, blockchain developers. We've got community, big community, small and big and localized community networks that we can go through. Some of our VCs are included here. We got MetaRise, obviously, who went through a whole list of people from Sandbox, from Decentraland, sorry, not Decentraland, from Sandbox, from Animoca Brands, from Block Tower, from there's so many out there that they went through. So we've made a lot of connections with token gating people, all the way to legal, all the way to legal. Then you've got what's the other one? We've got yeah. It's bottom line is we covered all facades of the various Web3 areas that we have people and partners that we can rely on. Then we've got OpenSea, who we've often in contact with, and they're happy to do something with us for Race Club Labs as well. Unreal Engine, obviously, we use that. NFTX, Ethereum. In fact, we've been talking to them as well, so we're looking for some hackathon or development grants with them there, and they've come back and said, "Hey, happy to help you guys out as well. That's not a problem. If you guys need any help, just reach out. We're happy to push your project as well, because you're doing an open source kind of method project." So yeah, and from our past experience, and then we got X Enabler as well, a new blockchain team we're using. And they're actually coming out with a few cool things, including the Irish Oracle side of stuff and the Crypto Toast things as well. So yeah, man, just watch out for these guys here. They're really, really cool. So yeah, 43 minutes. And I've been rambling on a lot. So sorry if I've been rambling on, and sorry if I sound tired, because it's been an extremely long day. But I hope this gives you an explanation of the project in a bit more detail. Two things you can do. You can sign up or scan the QR on the right side to if you're a project or if you're a community member that wants to start a club. By all means, just sign that, scan the QR code and sign in the form. Or the other thing is just follow us on Racer Club Labs on Twitter, with all the updates of what is to come. But I just want to say, guys, I'm superly keen. Yes, I'm exhausted for today and I'm tired for today, but I'm so excited about this. You don't understand how excited my team and I are on this year to deliver this. We've worked really, really hard all the way till now, and I tell them every single day, this is only the beginning. Every time we finish, and this is our race, right? This is our race. Every time we get to the finish line, we start a new race, and our race again after this will be to get the 30-day access game out, to launch this game pack NFTs, to create the balance platforms for everyone else, and deliver everything as what we said as per our white paper. So go to our white paper, check it out. Just even in fact type Racer Club white paper on the internet, you'll find us straight away. Check that out. If you got any questions, any queries, do not hesitate to message me or any of my team members. You got Vince, you got Roman. We'll be there to answer anything for you. Until next time, guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and thank you for listening. Cheers, bye.